Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So Sebastian's come down today with his Ralliart SST and he's been having quite a nightmare with it. He's had his engine fail and then he's had a bit of trouble with his gearbox. So him and his uncle have done the SST service by following the video that I've put up, and he's come down today all the way from London to have the reteach done. So we're going to do a reteach a little before and after, and hopefully he's not going to have any problems once this is done and his gearbox is going to be running nice and smooth. So usually it does fix all the problems, but we cannot guarantee it. There could always be a possibility that it won't fix it, but yeah, let's give it a go. So Sebastian seems to think that the gearbox is a bit sluggish and a bit lumpy. Now these gearboxes can be like that compared to other automatics, but I've been in a few SSTs so I can compare it to other SSTs. Okay, so we just took the car out just to see if the gearbox was acting in a funny way. The gearbox seemed pretty normal for what I'd expect for sport mode. Obviously with super sport it's going to be a much more aggressive shift, but one thing I did notice straight away, Sebastian said it sounded like anti-lag, but in my opinion I think it's actually misfiring. I don't know if it's misfiring from a boost cut or if there's just an ignition problem with the spark plug or something small like that, but I'm just going to check the boost controller lines just to make sure they're plugged in and there's nothing obvious going on. But yeah, we're gonna have a look at that just before we do the reteach. And I'm chasing the boost lines. Now they all seem to be normal. They're obviously different setup to the Evo, but there doesn't seem to be anything unplugged or anything like that. Sebastian said the symptom seems to change with this, which is the blow off valve. So I'm gonna try and tighten up the spring. Maybe it's too loose and it's leaking boost. I don't know, but we're gonna tighten it up. It won't actually change the map. It's just if it is too loose, then the car will not hit target boost pressure and it will confuse the ECU. So we're going to make sure that's nice and tight. You could even block that off and the car would run. So having it too tight is never going to be a problem. So we're going to just rule that out. And if it's not that, then I'm going to say probably would be a good idea to take it up to Simon Norton and let him remap it for you, because you get a faster car then and a more reliable car. So we can tighten that up. Then we're going to do the reteach anyway, because I'm going to do it for a better price than anyone else would, and at the very least you'll have a nice running smooth gearbox with super sport. So that's the plan of attack, and I'll keep you posted. Okay, so we're going to be flashing over the Evo X reteach software. Now we are in a Ralliart and they don't get super sport, so the program was telling me that I don't have permission to write the firmware over. So we've changed a couple of the lines in the code just to change the target part and software number, and that's allowed us now to get to this part where we're going to flash the reteach firmware over. So I'll click this now, and the car's going to make all sorts of funny weird noises. So in a couple of minutes we'll do the reteach. I've shown this a few times. I'm not going to be covering it in depth in this video. So we performed the reteach, everything went successfully. The software tells you each step whether it was successful or unsuccessful, so no problems there, which makes me think the gearbox is a healthy one. We're now flashing back to 2008 Evo X software, so now Sebastian is going to have super sport, and also the reteach has been done, so it should be a smoother gearbox and a faster shifting one. So we're going to test it once this is done, and hopefully a big improvement. All right then, so we just took it for a test drive. I think the gearbox is running absolutely perfect. There's a little bit of a misfire that was there to start with, but from the gearbox side of things, perfect. I'm just gonna show Sebastian how to put it into super sport. So you put it up once and then you hold it. Is it showing up yet? Yeah. All right, so we're gonna take it for a spin, see what Sebastian thinks. Down to the roundabout, first exit. Yep. I reckon that's spot on. impressions of the gearbox then?
It was a lot more responsive. But for some reason the brakes feel more responsive. I don't know if it's
Straight up. Okay, so we have a happy bunny now. We had a terrible misfire, and Seb was just preparing to go home, and I thought to myself, I got spark plugs on Steve-O's head, which I've ordered new ones for, so put the old plugs in to your car and it's transformed it, haven't it?
Exactly, completely transformed it. Thank you.
No problem. So we're gonna, I noticed one of the plugs was literally hand tight, two of them I had to get a breaker bar on, and one of them was about right. So they weren't torqued, neither were the coils torqued to the rocker cover. So we've done that, put my second hand plugs in, and it's transformed it. Yeah, completely transformed it. It was probably about 80 horsepower before, it's probably about 250 now, is it?